So it's Kathy here, and I'm here in Alberobello, which is another part of Puglia, and I'm sitting on the roof of our Tulli, which is our little house here that we're staying at for the next 2 nights. And I don't know if you can see these rooftops around me. It's just amazing. I'm going to throw the camera around shortly so that you can get a better overview. But these houses are actually UNESCO protected. I think they're about 1,000 years old, and I'm keen to actually learn about the history about them, but I believe there is Turkish influence here. And some of the roofs actually have beautiful decorations on them because they were painted all sorts of symbols on the roofs to actually protect the people in their homes. So some of them are very ancient sorts of hieroglyphics, and others are, you know, much more modern sorts of graphics, like, you know, we saw one yesterday with the love heart and the arrow through it, for instance. Anyway, I'm chiming in because apart from this being such a beautiful area, I want to talk about where I've been in terms of my headspace in the last few weeks with traveling. You know, traveling is amazing, and I'm sure, as many of you have said, you're really enjoying my photos and my videos, so thank you so much for that. I love getting that feedback. So while it's easy, it's also quite hard because it's that double-edged sword, or, you know, the yin and the yang, as some of us who are more spiritual might refer to it as. And, you know, the hard part is you're constantly on the move, you don't know where you're going. And I've got to say, it's been really interesting in Italy because we got here because of my friend Chris, who's organised most of this trip, because he saw a cooking show and it was all about this region. Otherwise, all of us had no idea that this region even existed. It was never on my radar. I've been to Italy so many times now, and I'm so glad that Chris discovered this cooking show. So, you know, how many times do we watch TV programs and do we really take in the information there? So it's because of a TV program and because of Chris, we all ended up, there's 8 of us traveling, or 10 of us at times. That's how we all ended up here. The other part of, you know, what's been really interesting is driving here in Italy. You know, I haven't driven since I left home almost 4 months ago, and I always knew that the Italians were mad drivers. But actually being behind the wheel myself this time just took it to a whole new level. There are no rules. They don't even stop for you at a pedestrian crossing, you know. And the way that Italians like to drive is that they kind of hedge their bets and they sit in the middle of the road so that they don't have to decide if they're going to, you know, it enables them to get onto the left side or the right side very quickly. So they're constantly in between lanes. They do not put on indicators. In fact, I don't even know why the signs are there. They totally ignore them, you know, the speed limits. And it was a bit hairy getting into the car on the first day because there were so many times where we just felt we were going to be taken out, you know. They're very aggressive, they curse you for absolutely no reason, and we are the only people using our indicators and looking, you know. Got a bit more used to now driving around, but coming into, you know, little towns like this is quite hairy because you've also got to maneuver these streets which are very, very narrow, and often the GPS doesn't, you know, take into account those locations. So it's all good fun, but, you know, this is again the whole part of traveling, you know, the 2 sides to, you know, you've got the good parts and you've got the challenging parts, which is life, right? Life is all about good and bad and how we deal with all of those things, and they're all just as necessary in the scheme of doing life, you know. Anyway, that's all from me today. Just wanted to share with you where we're currently at and share with you, you know, my latest insights on life. I'm doing a lot of thinking about life at the moment and really getting stuck into it and enjoying it, you know, with, you know, doing a little bit of the Morocco work and everything else on the side. So I hope you're still catching the Dream Crazy program, getting ready for the next episode next week. Okay, guys, so hope you're all well, and I hope you're still dreaming crazy. And, you know, this is one of my big dreams, to come and do all these cities and towns that I'm doing. I've had so much contrast in the places that I've seen, and I really get a buzz to hear from you because, you know, I still do get homesick. So anyway, guys, until next time, be well. Crazy dreaming. Bye.